What's up, everybody? What's happening? It's Joseph R. Wheeler III, the artist, the founder, the president of the ONYXCON Foundation, welcoming you back to this wonderful channel where we have multi-niche content for the masses. All right? We talking about multi-niche. What's multi-niche? That means we don't do just one thing. We have multiple topics. We don't focus on just one thing. We focus on living your best art life in many ways. We talk about the arts. We talk about creativity. We talk about the production of various types of art, various mediums of art, right? Yeah. So, been getting a little heat around here lately. Now, what I mean by heat, let me be real specific when I say that. First and foremost, I don't mean no drama. I do mean though that because of my videos about Star Trek, Starfleet Academy, the most controversial Star Trek show to come out in a while. I mean, this gonna go down in history as probably one of the most fan debated, either loved it or hated, and a lot of folks are hating on it, shows of all time. Because, you know, Star Trek has been around for a while. I mean, we're talking especially since the 60s. And most of the people who are debating this and having something to say weren't even alive to witness it when it was first in syndication, which is what makes me laugh the most about all of these opinions that I keep seeing. Now, some of them, they are just, and they have, you know, everybody got a right to state their opinion. Like they say, you know, opinions are like what? We all got them, right? So I don't care that people are expressing themselves, but I do get annoyed and therefore wanted to jump into the frenzy, so to speak, to say my piece and be a voice of reason amongst chaos. Because when I tell you, a lot of what I see is just, as they call it, rage bait these days. That's all it is. That's all it is. It's not really based on any real structure or any real actual honest opinion about nothing. They just see what's trending. They see the perspective of most people who, if there's somebody they can agree with, because they do agree now. They're all in one big cahoot. And a lot of them are, as I would like to list them and, you know, take out where it doesn't apply. But for the most part, one of these is going to hit them on the head. There are a lot of racist little twerps, okay? Sexist little twerps. I don't like this word, but it's the one that's used usually to define that. But homophobic twerps, okay? And classist twerps. Colorist, you know what I mean? I mean, you run the list, man. They got it. They hitting a lot of those notes I just said, and I'm seeing, especially over and over and over again, that when it comes to most of the attacks on the characters of the show and who is not liked and all that kind of stuff, it's primarily the black characters. But what's funny is when you see the people who are talking, a lot of times they'll be, from what I've seen, not saying all, but most of who I've seen, they're mostly white American, and they have a perspective, and they are sharing it. And then at some point in it, if you give them a little minute, because I don't do what most people do, just check in and check out. I sit there long enough to try and absorb who's speaking and where they coming from, right? And it never fails, because they're gonna say something that gives away that, yeah, they got an issue with anybody having representation outside of who they're most comfortable with. And the key word I said, thank you for the thumbs up, appreciate you. And the key word of most comfortable is, a lot of them, the worst thing a lot of them do is they say, I'm not racist, I'm not a bigot, and I feel like they're trying to make everybody who doesn't like the show a bigot. No, no. I think what's happening is you're feeling yourself, you're putting a mirror to yourself like, why am I bothered by it? Now, if you don't like the plot, you don't like certain character things, which I don't like either, right? There's things about this show I don't like. As a matter of fact, there's a lot about the show I don't like. But I keep saying, and I'm gonna keep saying. So there can't nobody say, oh man, you always said that, you were defending it. And then somebody else who only wants to hear the other side of what I said, because I shared both perspectives. I said, there's potential here. And that's still the word I'm using. I said, full of potential. Starfleet Academy, Star Trek's Starfleet Academy is full of potential. And I'm still gonna say that. It's full of potential. And everything they got right, unfortunately, is countered by everything that most fans, no matter what extreme they're coming from, or if they're not extreme, like myself, because I might, like I've said in all my other videos about this, I get all ramped up and act silly about it, or I may feel a certain way about some things, but I know how to put on for the camera for y'all to keep your attention, because I know people ain't got no damn attention span. So if you don't put on a little bit, you can't keep nobody watching no damn way. I learned that. So I play the game a little bit, just a little bit. I go into my actor skills, but I don't like to be that in front of this when I'm doing these, because I want y'all to really know who I am. So I mix it. There's times when I'm off the kilter. And one thing you can say about this, let's understand this. Any real actor will tell you, real acting is not lying. You're not perpetrating a fraud. You become something that's already in you that you can explore. Okay? Thank you so much. Got the thumbs and all the love going up. I see it. Thank you so much. You become something else is the goal. Right? So, but it's already something in you that can pull that out. Otherwise, it's not believable. That's why people say, he thought he was doing that, or she thought she was doing that. I didn't feel it. Yeah, because they're not really in touch with that character. But anyway, I've said from the beginning, I've defended the actors. I said there's a lot of great actors on this show. Starfleet Academy has great actors. Some of them at different points in their career, they may have just got that role that was that big. They've been in it. Ain't nobody getting on Star Trek and they ain't done the work. I can promise you that. I don't give a damn what nobody think from a fan perspective sitting on the sidelines. Ain't never been in an acting class. Ain't never done no kind of acting. Ain't even forgot your lines in the little kiddie school play when you was a kiddo. But got the nerve to be on here talking about, this is horrible acting. How the fuck do you know? Have you ever? More than likely not. More than likely not. Because ain't no real actor gonna be saying that shit, man. They gonna be like, yo, it's like any other discipline of something that you have to take time with and really explore. You might not like the way somebody does it, or they do it in a different way than you would do it, or they wrote a character in a way that you can't agree with, or whatever. But you're not gonna just completely, do these completely all swiping statements. This is just complete trash. And that's what I'm seeing. That's what I keep seeing. I'm seeing over and over again these little troll ass chumps on YouTube say that kind of stuff. That's what they're doing. And it's pathetic. It's like, yo, god damn, man. Like, seriously, it ain't that serious, first of all. Second of all, if you that serious about it, make another show and do what it takes. Spend the years, the decades, quite frankly, that it's gonna take you. And start now, especially if you're in your 20s. Especially. And ain't none of them I've seen complaining younger than 20s. They all at least 20s. But they mostly like 30s, and I would give them maybe 40s. But they mostly in them I'd say mid to late 20s and 30s. And they popping shit and don't know what the hell they talking about. Most of the time. Every now and then they'll hit a note, and I'll be like, yeah, okay, I can agree with that, but it don't matter, because 75% of all the rest of this mess I heard you say is pure, unfiltered. You talk about what trash is. It's that. It's when you sum things up with no objectivity. There's no room for objectivity. It's just all one way. It's just, black or white. That's it. That's all they talk. And it's goofy as shit. It just shows how shallow they are. I watched some dude today. I didn't even want to watch him. It just came up. And I invited him over here to see my reviews, which I know he's going to come back with some smart mouth shit, and then I'm going to block his ass. It's a pattern. It's like, okay, you start the timer. You're like, how long I got? Okay, there's the message. Okay, block that bitch. It's like, what they're going to do. And you might say, anybody who knows me well, man, Joseph, man, why you wasted time with them chumps? Oh, man, as they say, I had time today. Not really, but I made time. You know what I mean? I made time. I said, you know what? That's why I'm so fresh today, by the way. Y'all used to see me in the fluorescent hoodie, and I'm out here doing the courier work and everything. Not today, damn it. I said, enough is enough. I'm putting on one of my favorite sweatshirts of all time. One of the classics. This baby right here. Shout out to Prairie View A&M, one of the baddest bands in the land. See, I rock with them bands especially. shout out to the school as a whole, but shout out to the bands, man. I love the HBCU bands, man. I'm all about that. I love the bands. I was in the band high school, and I always say, yo, we were like a college band, so I know the experience. I've lived the movie Drumline. Let's just put it like that. You know what I mean? Lived it. So love all of that. Shout out to Prairie View. Shout out to Houston, the whole area. You know what I mean? And this is what you call real respect for something too. But you know what? I ain't gonna get on. I done already told the story of this shirt. I ain't even gonna go down there. If you want more on that, just look up. What video? That would be, just say ONYXCON Los Angeles, and you're gonna see a bunch of content. But there'll be one video in particular where I hung out with my good friend, my day one, Diallo Riddle. We went to see a Lakers game with me and my other homies from Atlanta. It was like a big, let's all get together and do it up, whoop it up, man. Me and the fellas having a good time. And I was riding with him, and you know what I'm saying, I did a pick in front of his car and stuff. Yeah, I'm telling you right now, it ain't my car. It's not my Porsche, but it's a nice ride. You know what I'm saying? I was posing up against that bad boy, and then we walked into the Staples Center and everything. We saw the Hawks get beat by the Lakers. It is what it was. But nonetheless, hey, we was in town, man. ATL, LA, all that. It was fun. It was big time. But I wore this. This was the first time I debuted that fit. And I love this. This will always have memories just because of that, but also because it's just fresh as hell. I love it. And you can't see the whole thing now, but later on I'm gonna show it off because I'm headed somewhere to do some content real quick, more content. Like giving you more now, we're gonna give you more later, you know what I mean? So it's coming, it's coming. It's coming. I'm about to take a nice little walk and get some footage of some beautiful murals. Hopefully there's one that I love, it's still there, it hasn't been covered up. It may have been, I wouldn't mind if it is, as long as something, one thing about it, it better be better, because this thing I'm talking about is phenomenal. If you've seen the video I did, it's probably been about a month ago, I said the best mural in Atlanta right now. It's a graffiti mural, it's a cyberpunk theme, and there's a centerpiece of it. Like the middle of the mural is absolutely, I'm telling you, this thing is like eighth wonder of the world, like type stuff. I mean, for real, it's serious. It's that big, it's that impressive. The skill level is optimal. You know, we talking top notch. Best writers, best graffiti artists in the city, from other places came to the city, because I know it was a team effort of people coming in town doing it, and it's absolutely phenomenal. So yeah, I covered that in that video. That was the first time I showed it, and I'm just so glad I saw that before it ever got replaced with something else, hopefully more awesome, because that's the way graffiti walls go. They go in stages. Like somebody has their fame for a few months or whatever, or sometimes it go for a year, you know, and then somebody will say, all right, it's time to do that one over. And usually when they do a big production and there's another one, it'd be a whole another crew coming in and represent, or would be some of the same people being it, you know, so they'll do it on the same level of skill. So anyway, so that's what's going on today. That's why, like I say, why I'm so fresh and so clean. So fresh and so clean, you know. But back to the topic about Star Trek, and I just make sure everybody's aware, if you didn't know, check out the two pieces I did. There's the first one, you'll know what it is, because I made up a Klingon character, and I got him on all the thumbnails. So it's two thumbnails, two different episodes, one where I'm talking about episodes 1 through 4, and then the most recent from a few days ago is literally like 2 days ago or something they posted, or yesterday, I can't remember, was it yesterday or the day before? Damn, maybe the day before, I don't know. Let me see, wait a minute, it's Saturday, so Friday, yeah, it would have been Friday, yeah, because the episodes come out on Thursday, so on Paramount, and I lucked up on getting a trial for Paramount that renews because of a gig I do and everything, where they give you that little perk. So I was like, all right, cool, I'm gonna watch me some Star Trek. Love this. And I can catch up on all the Star Trek. I can go back and watch any of the series. So that's the dopest thing. So like when people want to get all debatable and stuff, if I really want to go back and check facts, I ain't gotta feel like, oh damn, I don't even have that channel. No, I can go in there and look at the episode, you know, but I don't really care to do all that anyway. I'm not the guy, I'm not that, I am I'm a blurred before blurred was a word, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, that technically means black nerd, but I never liked the word nerd, because I come from the era where we didn't say that fun, and then nobody walk around calling each other nerds like that was cool in my day. We I always say we was in the trenches for y'all to have the right to call yourself blurs if you black and you into all this stuff and you love all of it. Like, didn't nobody say that? Check with your uncles and granddaddies and daddies and everybody, mamas and aunties, and they'll let you know. They'll be like, oh no, nobody, in some sense, that was fighting words. Don't be saying that. No, don't do that. You know, because it was looked at like you trying to say I'm awkward and I'm not socially hip to what's going on, when it's like, I know what the hell going on. I'm just not ignorant and stupid. I'm not a thug. I'm not out here doing all this other dumb shit that the rest of y'all think is cool or whatever if you into that. Like, so, you know, we was the different ones, you know. But most people respected when I was coming up. I mean, my particular group of friends and everything, you know, we had clout, you know what I'm saying? Because we were in the band, like I say. We were in activities that made us noticeable and did all kind of cool stuff. Let me see what the homie say. Blood-sucking gamers in the house. Shout out to Kirk. You know I'm riding, so I'm trying to make sure I do this safely as I read it. But he said, nope, geek, dork, do all the same. but Kirk, let's be Philly. You to this day would call yourself neat, geek, nerd, dork and dweeb. Man, dork and dweeb still, that's still some, what the fuck you saying? You know, you call who and what? Because I would call these people who be talking shit about this show and getting so upset about it and they ain't got no life outside of their fandom. Those are dorks and dweebs to me, okay? You know what I mean? Like, nerd ain't an insult for it like it used to be. So, and that ain't even, like I said, I was never on that anyway as a word. It wasn't my thing. That was like, whatever. And then geek to me is more like technologically savvy. Like, I like technology. I'm into technology enough to get, I just want the tool I buy to work, damn it. When I get to where I'm going right now, and I got my gimbal that I done charged, I don't want it glitching on me and giving me no trouble, you know what I'm saying? So, but if I was a dude who knows how to take that thing apart and put it back together, and that's a skill, that's an absolute amazing skill that I respect. I don't have that's not an insult to me, but it's like, that would be somebody, if they can't stop talking about that kind of thing, and that's their world, is I rebuilt a computer and I'm a hacker and all this other kind of shit like that. Those are the geeks to me. These are not the same. So you say all the same, I can't agree. That's just not how the words were defined in my era. And not to say everybody my age would agree with me. Some of them might agree with you, but I guarantee you most of the people who would agree with you would be what we used to call, like, well, I ain't gonna say we. I have my own phrase that I got from my dad, and it was funny as hell to me to this day, because if you ever saw the movie Cooley High, right? And Cooley High is a classic. I always tell people, if you're talking about Juice and Bishop and Tupac and all that, okay, know your film history. Go back and watch Cooley High, because if it wasn't for Cooley High, there would be no Juice. They literally took the plot of Cooley High and modernized it. Juice is the modern day, for its day, when that came out in the 90s. It's the modernization of Cooley High. And if they ever redid Juice, whatever that is, would be, you know, the remake of Juice or whatever. But yeah, so, but Cooley, the word, my dad used to say that, you know, a bunch of damn coolies. And he would be talking about, you know, the quote unquote popular it kids that thought they were all that, but a lot of them would tend to be assholes. Not all of them, because I knew some coolies that were actually cool, you know. I knew some coolies that really everybody liked. They got along with everybody, but they were coolies. Like, they only hung out with the popular jocks. They only hung out with, you know, all the thug dudes who were popular. All right, the D-boys everybody knew was selling dope and shit. That's why they dress so fresh, not because this motherfucker really legitimately goes out and gets Gerbo and Duckhead and all this other shit that was popping in Atlanta back then. You know, but like, you know, and Guess, and I mean, they wear all that shit, right? Polo, whatever you want to say. Like T.I., the rapper, the way T.I.'s energy is, T.I. would be the epitome of a coolie. You know, but he would be the coolie who's cool with everybody. Like, everybody know he thugging, everybody know he wild, but if you on his good side, and I mean, he wasn't a bully, so he cool and he get along with everybody, he would probably be the dude who would fight the bully to get folk away from folk, you know what I'm saying? Leave and get folk off of folk being harassed that couldn't defend themselves, you know what I mean? But or definitely know the dude who would. You know, like T.I. might send him to do it. I'm making this up. So if anybody ever see this, be like, man, he said this about me. Look, T.I. younger than me too. Did you hear me? And that shocked me late, because recently I thought he was my same age. We are contemporaries. Like, he would have been in high school when I was in high school. But he's younger than me too. I said, damn, I didn't know that. I thought we were the same age. I'll tell you who is the same age. So that's why I've always understood them and got so much respect for both of them, but especially Andre is Outkast. You know what I'm saying? 3000 is my age. Like, we the same year, exact, everything. You know what I'm saying? And I met bro one time. He was cool as shit, man. Andre's the truth. That's been long ago too. I met him during his, man, I met him. I shook his hand twice, but I'm sorry. Saw him twice, shook his hand once, and talked to him for a minute. And told him about a piece of art I did in homage to The Love Below. So you know it was after that. And he loved it. He did the famous Andre laugh. Man, I caught chills from that shit. I was fanning out for a minute. I said, oh damn, he did the laugh. You know, when Andre did that, that little. I was just describing the art and how it looked, because I didn't, and then I think I pulled it up on my phone and I showed it to him. He was like, I said, oh shit, I made the main man do the sound. He loves it. He was like, man, that's dope, bro. And he gave me that. I was like, yeah, man, thank you, man. It's for you, folks. It's for you, like shit. Like, this one of them that, you know, I ain't big on, here's a piece of art I did for you. You can just get the original and you're a millionaire, and I'm still out here struggling and I'm not gonna ask you to pay for it. But in his case, I probably would have gave, like, yo, if you want it, it's yours, you know what I'm saying? But like, I ended up giving it to one of my homies, his sister. She is the ultimate fan. She's a good friend, been like a therapist for me at times when I needed it, like right after my divorce. I remember I could chop it up with her about a lot of stuff I was going through, and she could relate because she's single and she's younger, you know what I'm saying? She was like little sis to us in the crew, but that's my folk right there. So I gave it to her, and you talking about tears coming down, overwhelmed. I gave it to her for her birthday. It's been years ago. Boy, I ain't got to never worry about that piece being treated right. That thing guarded by Fort Knox. She loved her some Andre. But is that still you, Kirk? Man, I'm waiting on the answer, bro. You must be busy. You must be. If that's you still watching, bro, I just want to know what you think. When I ask the question, I say, like, is that really, you gave that list, I'm asking for real talk. Is that officially how everybody in Philly would see it, or is that just you? And remind me of your age or your age range if you don't want to say the exact age. But I know you're younger than me, so I still say what I say about how people looked at it in my time. But like I say, you know, geographically, stuff can be different in Philly versus Atlanta. I know how that goes. Everybody got their own stuff about everything. Like, you know, everybody got their stuff. Like, I mean, it's just like how in LA, I'll never forget when I first started going out to LA, because my ex, she was from there. She was from Cali, from LA, and West LA specifically. And when I first started visiting, I can remember, like, everyone, her brother is younger than her, and he became like my little brother, my little big brother. He was a big dude. He was like 6'5" in high school, and but he would always, like, the way they talk in LA, depending on where they at, like, because of the infusion of so much gang culture stuff, like, all this kind of talk. If anything was, you know, less hip to what's going on the street or not aware or whatever, oh, that's square, that's square. But he himself would say he was a square, and proudly, because it's like, if you ain't a square, you a G, and if you a G, you in that bullshit, and you can get your ass killed. So it's like, it's like, instead of square sounding like the insult it sounds like, it was kind of like, yeah, I'm a fucking square, goddamn. And mother say it like, yeah, I'm a square. Like, you know, it's like, you wanted to be a damn square to stay alive if you ain't about that other stuff. Because woo, you know, but yeah. So that was interesting just to see how they talk like that. But again, all that was then. Who knows what they saying now? Stuff doesn't change. Whole new generations. All that stuff evolves. People don't even say it the same way. They don't mean it the same way. Man, words always changing, bro. Always evolving. But I see the love going up. Kirk, man, you got your hands tied? That gotta be you, bro. What you think, man? Talk to me. Tell me what you think. Because I like I say, I don't know about all that. You say all the same. No, it ain't all the same. It's different. Like I say, geek is like, to me, that's like technologically savvy and obsessed. You gotta be obsessed. You can't just be into tech, like you buy gadgets because you can afford them and all that. No. If you can't take some shit apart and put it back together, you ain't a geek, to me. That's a geek. A geek is that person who, like, they literally love doing that shit. Like, that gets them off. You know? They play a video game, and if they get bored, they gonna damn, you know, that's the people who sit around and make up mods because they can't play the game normal. They have to mod it. They'll never play a console. They gotta play on PC because these idiots out here can't drive. Motherfucker. Anyway, yeah. Woosah. Yeah. Oh, goofy ass on the phone too. Anyway, so, man, damn. But people can't, you know, somebody can't even play the game the way it was intended to be played. They got to mod everything, right? And then they got the audacity, they're going to make videos, put them on YouTube, and make you feel some kind of way. Like when I used to watch all them Cyberpunk 2077 videos, thinking that I done missed something in the game, because I'm like, I ain't never done that. Where's that at? I thought I played everything. And then you realize, oh, this shit is modded, man. The whole damn thing I'm watching, this is all mods. That's not possible. You can't do that. Like, and what really make you mad is when it's so cool, you're like, but I want to do that. Like, yeah. If I see one more damn flying car video, I'm so sick of that shit. I'm like, yeah, I want to fly my damn car. It's the year 2077, let's fly. But they ain't do it. It ain't in the game. It's not canon. It's just they made that shit up. They put it in a mod. And then they put a bunch of videos out, got everybody confused. The responsible people say, it's like AI, like I say, ethical AI. At the front of all my ONYXCON content that I did with AI for Cyberpunk ATL, my fan-based series. Okay, if you're new here and you don't know what I'm talking about, check out the playlist. Cyberpunk ATL. If you're a fan of Cyberpunk, you're gonna absolutely, if you like the genre of Cyberpunk, you're gonna love it. If you like the game, Cyberpunk you play, you're going to love it. I promise you. I guarantee. I put my own stamp of approval on my own stamp of approval. Why? Because I know it's ran through a lot of different channels to test amongst people who I know don't even know me, just to see how they react. And everybody was like, oh shit, this is dope. You know, people like it. Trust me. Yeah, Brother Kirk in here. Blood-sucking gamers in the house, Philly. So, yeah, you know, like, yeah, check that out. But at the beginning of every episode, I have a disclaimer that lets you know that the imagery you're going to see in this, 90 whatever %, because I do have some original images too, okay? Like when I do my prompts, sometimes I will actually, you know, I can draw. I'm an actual master drawer. See, notice I didn't bite my tongue. Like I went to school for drawing, painting, sculpting, all that. Foundation year education, Pratt Institute. See, most of the naysayers just shut the hell up. All the little trolls shut up when you say that. You say Pratt, they make a motherfucker shut up. Then we finished that off with Atlanta College of Art. Now see, now then they want to act stupid because they don't know about the school because they got ate up by Savannah College of Art and Design. But real ones know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Real ones know what I'm talking about. And they know a Jedi's in the motherfucking room. So I'm just saying, I can draw my ass off, but I'm just at a stage in life where I don't draw like I used to, not because I can't, just because the energy that was all of that got transferred into being the actor, the presenter, the content curator. Because I agree, I'm on a mission. I have to monetize. Monetization is like getting a degree on here now. It ain't even about the money no more on YouTube. It's become like I have to walk that and got paid off it with all the ads on my shit for me not to see a dime. I'm gonna get at least a gas tank off of this bitch. That's how I feel right about now. You hear me, YouTube? I'm coming for your ace. You gonna pay up. You gonna pay up. YT gonna pay up. You understand? I mean that on everything. They say on the dead channels, homie. On the make it, you know what I'm saying, Holmes? They got out here, they tried their damn best. They couldn't cut. They couldn't cut the mustard, homie. They couldn't cut the mustard, couldn't stay on this bitch. But guess what? I ain't going near where. I ain't going near where. Oh shit. Do it like Dub C. Barracuda with it. Call security. I'm in a white tee with jewelry. Oh man, that's my dude. Who else love Dub C? If you like Dub C, put a 2 in the comments, or put a peace sign up for the 2. Dub. Oh my gosh. Yes, sir. But nah, man, it's like it done got personal. It's like I gotta get it. So I look at it like getting my degree on here, man. I gotta graduate on this damn thing. And after that, we'll see what it do. Like, you gotta put your degree to use. Like, when they say it's always so much better on the other side, we're gonna find out. And then people say it's not so good. Like, you get out here in the job market of YouTube, and it ain't what it used to be, and everybody's complaining about you don't get the money you used to get, and they don't cut them checks like they used to. Yeah, I hear all that, but you still getting a check. That's all I hear when I hear these YouTubers that talk that shit. It ain't paying like it, but it's still paying. You're still using the word pay. That's what I'm hearing. See, and I told y'all, respect first, then power, then money. I done been demanded my respect. I done been got enough power. We done proven that a multi-niche channel without one topic can get 2,500 subs. Y'all better give yourselves a hand, damn it. Y'all better give yourselves a hand, damn it. And yes, my hand is still on the steering wheel. I'm just that good. I'm just that good. But no, for real, man. It's like, we done already proven it. The only thing now, I don't care what nobody say. It's the algorithms and like I saw something the other day that made so much sense to me. I got to get this young cat a lot of props for what he said, because usually these types of videos annoy the shit out of me. It'd be some YouTube guru who's telling everybody about how he became or she became a millionaire at 13, and now they're 19 and they're soon to be a billionaire. I mean, like, seriously, these kids be killing me, man. And they sitting in their little office studio at their house, probably still with mom, because mom and dad are like, you can move out once we get back all we put into your studio. But they fronting like they live by themselves and they so grown. And yeah, I've got a Lambo. Yeah, you got a Lambo in dad's driveway. Yeah, you probably do have a Lambo. But and this dude looking like Doogie Howser. If you don't know who Doogie Howser is, look him up, goddamn. Looking like Doogie Howser in this mug. But he's in his little studio and shit, and he has some good wisdom. I ain't gonna front. He said some things. He said, these are the top things that can, mess your channel up, which I've seen a bunch of. Every YouTube guru does these videos. It's mandatory that you do that video, right? But this one, the thing he said that really, a couple of things he said that really got me going was, he said, first of all, don't overkill that, don't trigger the most follows. Like, if people aren't following that topic that heavily, it's really not doing your channel any favors, because what happens is the algorithm starts to read that as, can't figure out exactly what your thing is about. It's going to put it further down the list, all of that kind of stuff, versus the things that are big topics. Basically, he just said, make sure you're always direct when you use hashtags and don't overdo them. And I admit, I am guilty of overusing them, because I started getting results from using a bunch of them. But I think I've learned, even before he said this is why I knew it was true what he was saying. Some videos that I expect to do better than others didn't, and I'm still doing my technique of, like, when I do a short, I'll put hashtags in the title, but I'll max them out. Like, I'm talking about, I don't know how many, it's by letter count, it's by character count. So it's not really work. Take something out and get it back to, so I will take it to the last freaking, I'm squeezing in words. And the one I always use is shorts. Because I don't know how many people know this, but shorts are so popular that is in the billions. Excuse me, when you look up how often it's used and how many people follow that, it's in the billions. So there ain't too many that's in the billions. There's a lot of them in the millions, but there ain't too many of them in the billions. It's one of the only ones I know of, quite frankly. It's about maybe 2 others. I can't remember right now what they were, but shorts always. If it's a short, sometimes if it's a short video, a long video, hey, shit, can't tell me it ain't short. The motherfucker is short. I put it on there. I'm using it. I want something better work, damn it. Something got to work, right? So that was one thing. He said, yeah, do that because it helps. And then another thing he said, he was talking about, Hold on, let me give y'all the view. I like to give y'all, this is for authentication purposes, because, when I'm always yelling ATL, everybody want to be in ATL now, or want to front like they don't want to be in ATL, but everybody's still coming, right? So let me show y'all what time it is, because I want y'all to understand it's real. But I want them to baiting with their little weak brain to try and hate. Like, he probably ain't even in Atlanta. ATL, the whole metro. How about that? I said whole metro. I always say if you live north, south, east, or west within a airport, not the city, because the true heartbeat of this thing is airport. Busiest airport in the world. Hello, okay. If you lived in an hour of the airport, you in metro for sure, for sure. And then folk who ain't from here, ain't never been here, you can't explain that shit to them, And then they listening to little goofies from here or trying to be from here. They move from somewhere else, get here, and don't do that. I would never do that in somebody else's town. What you say is what it is. I ain't gonna debate with nobody in Philly about why there's no what's the word that I know there's none? There's no East Philly, because that's the river. Like, that's Jersey. Like, what the fuck? That's not Philly. So yeah, there is no East Philly. There's North Philly, South Philly, West Philly. And then there's all the, in betweens. Northeast, Northwest, Southwest. I know. I do know that, right? I did that for Kirk if he's still up in here. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? You see the so-so death sign over there to the left? Can y'all see it? It's bright yellow over there. It's kind of hard to see, but it's out. For real. That billboard, the original one was in a different location. It was further back. Now it's over here on the left, further into the city, which actually, it's closer to the buildings and everything. So from a picture standpoint, it's actually a better position for it, because if you go over to that parking lot where that is and take a picture, you can see the, if you angle it just right, you get all the main buildings behind you. You're gonna get the Peachtree Plaza, the Western Peachtree Plaza up ahead, which I always say is the Atlanta building. There's other Atlanta buildings that are noticeable, but that one there, been here all my life. So that is let me see if can I zoom in? Cylindrical shaped building. That's the Western Peachtree Plaza. That there is showing up Atlanta. And if you just want the dot on the map, you see that gold dome? Yeah, that's the Capitol. That is the dot. That is the star. That is the star. You know what I'm saying? Shouted, that's the star right there. Yeah. But yeah, man, we in this usual. Another thing is so Atlanta. We out here in this traffic. I'm so ATL. Get in there. I need to hear that right now. And I can't cut on my music while well, let me see. Maybe it'll act right. Let me see. So I can plug this up. Okay, yeah, here we go. Just cruising. We're back to my first topic, y'all. Just make sure y'all go check out those new heavily opinionated, heavily expressed thoughts on Star Trek, Starfleet Academy, and most importantly, watch the show so you can understand the arguments people are having, because it's getting crazy. I tell you, getting real wacky about this show that all these fans did not produce, and all these pseudo-ass writers. I just saw this one dude talking about he was a writer. I was like, oh, really? Okay, so where we find your books in Barnes & Noble and on Amazon. Anybody can be a writer, man. I'm a writer, yes. But just because you say you're a writer doesn't mean you can write. So when you go to criticize the other writers who have made it to those levels you wish you were at, because you sitting in your damn house with all these Star Trek toys and everything behind you. Look, I collect all that shit too. My point is, I'm never going to front on the levels I wish I could achieve in a lifetime. If it was a goal and it didn't get met and there's other things that might get met, that's real life. But that's when I always know I'm listening to some young chunk with a chip on their shoulder that ain't been through the heat of life yet. See, when you go through the phases that other grown folk, extra grown folk go through, you start humbling yourself to people's realities and how they gotta survive and shit, and you start realizing, man, yo, the clock really is a clock. Yeah. When people your age start passing and shit, and not from, some random violent bullshit and stuff. I'm talking about just health issues and stresses and people taking themselves out over the stress and all that kind of crazy. When you start seeing that shit, which I'm experiencing at this age, people, a cousin or something a few years younger than you done died already. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. When stuff like damn near all your friends done lost their parents and you lucky to still have yours. See, when you start living that, when you start realizing all that, you don't talk shit the same way. Cause you understand how stupid that shit sounds when you're online going crazy about a fucking show. It's like, dude, stay your opinion, mean what you say, but stop being so over exacting and so extra serious about it. Because there's so much more important stuff going on in the world. And at the end of the day, if your ass don't never become a writer for CBS and Paramount, or better, if you don't ever create something in a lifetime that can compete with that. Because here's the reality. We're at a stage right now where we've seen, hey, used to not be able to say ain't nothing nobody else gonna ever do. You gotta work for them networks, that's all that ain't like that no more. We got what I'm talking on right now. We got YouTube. We got all these other streaming abilities. There's so many ways to quote unquote gain an audience and compete. But even as you can see with folks who have huge catalogs and are making crazy money and getting big deals, did you hear that word? D-E-A-L, deal. They still have to work with these huge conglomerate systems to even get it in front of your eyes enough for you to know their name. When I say somebody, like the other night, I was looking at the interview on Earn Your Leisure, that podcast, and they were interviewing Charlamagne the God from the Breakfast Club, who just got a deal with Netflix to do his own podcast, to extend the brand of his podcast into that level of fame and fortune. And fortune for real, this dude got a $200 million contract. I said, God, now, when stuff like that happens, of course, as soon as the number hits, and Charlamagne trying to play humble on the show, even at the beginning of the interview, he's talking about, I don't get all into the numbers and everything, but the guys who host the show, they talk about stocks and all this other stuff. So it was like, we get into the numbers, we talk about numbers, like okay, Mr. Humble trying to play modest, because you don't want folk coming for you, like, wait a minute, you got how much money? It'd be turned into the Dave Chappelle joke where he went to get the haircut and he said, so how much I owe you, man? He's like, what was it, $10,000 the guy had charging for a haircut? He's like, $10,000? Hey, man, I just saw you last week. You charged me $20. And he's like, he put out a gun and everybody else in the barbershop put out a gun. He was like, you got a problem with that? He's like, no, not at all. Okay, here you go. But goddamn, like, so I know what it is. He's like, man, shoot, I know I'm on here and y'all gonna blow that part up, but I don't want to act like that's a big deal. Well, it's too late, bro. You took the interview. Everybody knows now. 200 million, man. You getting more than some college major PWI school coaches and shit. You get more than most NFL players and shit. You get more, and mind, when I say he's getting, it's not direct in his pocket. He got to pay his whole staff, and that might be the budget for the whole show. You know what I'm saying? It's a deal. They say $200 million deal. Deal meaning what? They ain't say, yeah, we're paying you only, Charlamagne. That's for the budget of the show. So once you get into that, he's still coming out real nice with some heavy duty money, enough to make him, I don't know what he gonna do. He probably gonna lead it. I mean, I couldn't imagine him staying there. He ain't gonna have time to do it. But it's just funny though, when like I say, my main point is that people sit around talking about these people's pockets like they're not impressed. Like, look, I don't have to like the person or their platform or whatever to acknowledge that, yeah, that kind of financial wherewithal puts you in a very comfortable seat to damn near do whatever we can never do whatever you want, but you get certain powers and privileges that all these people, like I say, going back to my first statement, who watch a show and got a problem but swear they could outright everybody who did. Then I say, well, get to work, motherfucker, because it's going to take a lifetime to ever try to compete with that. So yes, and Paramount, or get a deal with one of them. You'll never go nose-to-nose competition with, finally, it's me versus you, Starfleet Academy. That shit ain't gonna happen. That's in your dream. That's in your little weird-ass wet dream for all these fools talking that shit, man. It's never gonna happen in this lifetime. Number one reason, you're too goddamn, most of the people complaining, you're too damn racist. You're racist, period, is a problem. But they extra with they dumb shit, and they don't think nobody smells it. That's the sickest part about it. They're all these, I'm a nice guy. I said it in a nice way, but you're still saying some real fucked up shit. We're here, we heard what you said. This one guy I was watching, he's talking about the young lady on the show, black actress, who's a little chunky in her body weight. He just outright calls the lady fat. I said, holy fucking shit. Does this trick-ass fool not know these are cancel words? And not take it serious enough to understand it really is. It's not a game. You can't just walk around calling folk fat. That's and they're not gonna make it worse. Like I say, this is a younger dude. This ain't my generation, man. We the ones had to relearn all this shit to survive out here if we're gonna play the game, right? Oh man, please, I come from the area. You fat motherfucking bitch ass. We said everything. Here's the first thing you're gonna get, and then we're gonna give you the rest of it. It's just gonna only get worse if it's an argument. Don't try, motherfucker. You want what else on it? We'll give you the works. We're gonna chop that thing up. Your address, ho. You know, we ain't here for that. It's like, that's why I tell folks, I say, man, look, anything you feel about what I got to say on here, please keep it to yourself. It's best for the best. Please keep it to yourself. It ain't worth it. You really don't know what levels a crazy ass old person will go. Cause we at the point where look, if this don't work out, well, I guess before I go, I'll just set it off. You know, so like, just leave older folk alone, man. Leave older folk alone. Find you some little goofy ass folk from your generation. Y'all sit around talking all that chest beating bullshit, knowing your ass got to go to work on Monday, like every damn body else. Okay? But while you worrying about being weekend warriors, tapping keyboards and talking shit, real ones like me, we out here every day. We had to make ourselves take a break. I'm taking a break for myself today to do not just the content I can do, but the content I really, really, really want to do and need to do during the week that I don't have the time or resources yet to do. So I don't take this as a serious chance of winning the digital lottery, so to speak, to get that DEAL, to get that deal, damn it, of AdSense, and hopefully get to a point where it's literally paying for my sustenance to therefore be able to be 10 times more creative. I always say, every time I say, y'all think y'all done, for everybody who loves the channel, y'all think y'all done seen, y'all ain't seen nothing. Wait till I get a budget. That's all I got to say. And I ain't budget. I don't need the 200 million. All that, man, give me a solid 6-figure budget, watch out. You know, and I know it's possible. That's the I know about YouTube. I done seen the videos of people who I admire who didn't change who they are and didn't they don't fake the funk, they don't put on, hey, they're entertaining. They know how to turn up their energy at times like I do. They know how to be extra funny more so than they normally would be in certain instances. And personality for certain instances, you know, yeah, they do all of those things we all learn to do when you know how to do it well, right? But they didn't change who they are. They still have their ethics. You know, the women that know they're sexy, yeah, they'll show off enough of their body to keep your attention, but they ain't about to just outright get naked. They ain't got to tell you go to my Pinterest too, where, or my OnlyFans. They ain't got to do all that. They just cute as they gonna be, gorgeous as they gonna be, fine as they gonna be, and it's enough. Just being I'm going to the beach, of course. Oh, that's hot. Yes, we get to see her walk away with a string between her cheeks. Oh Lord, yes, wonderful, right? I'm thinking of somebody as I say this little cutie that I seen her on some content for the good brother Ace Live. Shout out to Ace Live. That's a legend right there. Absolute legend in the travel space and everything. And he was he did some joint content with her, and I didn't realize she was really a thought she was maybe somebody who's dabbling in it, but no, she got her own channel. And I realized that just the other night. I was looking at, oh man, what's the boy's name? And I say boy respectfully because he's just younger than me. He's much younger. But Don Banks, shout out Don Banks. You know, the tatted up cat, always grinning and being so damn just, he tripped me out. He's the ladies' man. I get a brother props. He definitely pull them. Lord have mercy. He keep them around. He keeps some bad baddies around. Them girls be off the I mean, I swear to gosh, it's like a model agency. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. Ladies love that brother. And I can relate. I got a similar vibe to where I move when it comes to the ladies, but it's a little different from my vibe because, you know, my age and just, not to mention, I don't know how he do it, man. That's stressful. Because he played a game of acting like every one of them is my girl. He tell all of them that's his girlfriend, all of them he in love with them, and I think this could work. I mean, for lack of a better word, man, it's the fuckboy energy. I mean, that's what they call it. That's what the women gonna call it every time. Some of them have said that to him, straight to his face. You know, and they say it in the language. He be in Brazil, they talking in Portuguese, but he know Portuguese. So he be age where that's understand. But anyway, he was on there, and it was in Ace's video. She showed up in one of his yacht parties. I said, oh, she looked familiar. At first, I couldn't remember where from, and then it hit me. I said, okay. And she's a straight cutie. I wish I could remember her name right now. I know she's got 2 A's in her name, like her last name or something. She's from Colombia. She's Colombian. She's real cute, beautiful girl. So chunky like, but still curvy. And when I say chunky, I don't mean as an insult, ladies, if anybody is taking offense to that. See, I don't call people just fat. She's not fat. She's curvy, you know? And she's cute as hell. She's sexy with it too. She had on a little bikini, and she was walking through her little place at the beginning of her video, doing her little walk away, acting like she don't know that the camera been set down on the counter so she could walk past it. I was like, they killed me. Do your thing, boo. But I was like, yeah. So like that's an example I'm talking about. Like, but this is a very, you know, well-mannered, nice, refined lady, somebody who could really be somebody's girlfriend and wife one day. She ain't coming off like no hoe. She just, everybody want to feel sexy while they still got it, man. You better live your life while you young. Like, I hate when people be like, you should never reveal anything. You should never show your body off. The fuck? You gonna look back and be, I can't find nothing to show you how I used to look really good. Man, shit. Every time I hit a beach, I'm taking my shirt off. Y'all gonna have to face it. Like, damn, Unc still got you goddamn right I do. What you think I do all these push-ups for? What you think them push-ups is for? I like the way it looked when I take my shirt off. I'm like, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm going to get them. Hey, baby, you see this? And she be like, yeah. They be like, hey. I be like, yeah. It's a way to do everything. You know, the fakers are the people who just got to do all this negative stuff all the time. And then they got to maintain it. Like, they'll get popular for it. They'll get the million. And then people get tired of you doing it and they just want the next person doing it. They don't like, they're addicted to the drama and the stress and the bullshit because maybe they're living in that. So that's entertaining to them to some extent, or the fantasy of it, because they don't live nowhere near all that kind of stress and drama, but they got other stresses and drama, and they like to look at other people with less, scrounging and, you know, hey, you know. But for all of us who just keep it real about wherever we at and whatever we put the camera on, people can feel that. They obviously love it. It takes longer for us to build our channels. It don't happen overnight. And once you accept that, you'll be all right. Somebody up here smoking that stank. Trying to get terrible. Welcome to it. Think he was in LA. Every time I'm at, he just love that, man. It done got like here. It's been like that now, I'd say for the last 10 years, man. Days of the week on the weekend. You know, you be like, how the hell you smoking something strong enough that I smell it in my. Then you know what I'm doing now and crack the windows so you can blow traffic. Damn, if we ain't about to go through. I Like I say, that's Atlanta. That's how it is nowadays. Look at that. Look at that. Good gosh. Woo. But yo, I think I'll get off here and go on my fan base. If y'all want to see my footage that I'm going to do them out, I might do a little something for here and make it a short or something like that. But I can tell you right now, my main feed going to be on fan base. Okay? So if you don't know about fan base, you need to know about fan base. So go ahead and subscribe to my channel on fan base. Go over to @ONYXCON on fan base. Lock that in for me. I also brought over content from our Instagram page for ONYXCON Hotties, HOTTIEZ, celebrating the beautiful women of the world and their talents. Brought that one over to fan base, and I'm thinking I'm gonna bring over all my other pages. Not complete. When I say bring over, I'm not like saying those pages are no longer on Instagram. I'm saying you can transfer a certain number of your posts so that you don't start on zero. And that's the other great thing about fan base. You can bring stuff over so your page ain't looking empty and you starting from scratch. No, you can bring over, like, I forget what percentage. Like, it might get, and it can get hundreds sometimes. It depends on how much you got, you know. But it'll bring over as much as it can of your content from your Instagram and from TikTok, I think. You know, either one you choose. So you can do that on fan base. And I've been doing that, or I did that. Because once you do it once, you can't do it again. You know, whatever you do, one big transfer, and then you just got to keep building from there. So I got some people, you know what I'm saying? And I'm proud of that. I got my first couple of subscribers, which I love. Shout out to Silver Fox Luxury and shout out to Kel Cole. That's my peoples over there. But especially Silver Fox, I want to say, because he got a brand, he's got a business. No disrespect to Kel if she does. I just don't know her to be a business. I just know her to be an individual. But Silver Fox Luxury is his business. And he does clothing and fragrances, and it's for the distinguished gentleman. It's just what it sounds. It's for this. It's all us gentlemen with the silver fox look. You know what I'm saying? But it's anybody. You know what I mean? But it's definitely would appeal to the older gentleman. You know, and that lifestyle. You feel? For sure, man. This traffic crazy. But I'm about to get off here. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I enjoyed talking with y'all, chopping it up, and we'll holla.